so long, we say, of course he came here. George Edwards is here. I mean, how much does that relationship play a factor on the inside?
Well, I think at the end of the day, knowing somebody where you're going into a new atmosphere, a new locker room, I think is a plus. But obviously, with his talents, he had a lot of options to go. We're glad that we got him and what he brings as far as a skill set to us defensively, and we'll be able to utilize that skill set as we go through the process.
He's been a captain his whole career. Can you talk about his leadership ability in the locker room?
Yeah, as you meet Anthony, you'll know he's a pretty straight shooter, straightforward, and he has no problem addressing issues when they come up. I think he's a good example for younger players because he's going to do it the right way. He's going to approach his preparation that way. He's going to approach everything off the field that way. And he cares about his teammates, which is a big part of this at the end of the day. So I think he's a good fit for our culture, and just look forward to continue to get him in the mix and get him going.
How do you get Micah to take the next step?
I think the biggest deal with Micah, and as you can see as we're going through training camp, he's a lot more comfortable right now because he's going through an NFL season and can feel the things that we asked him to do last year. I think last year a lot of things as he was going through it was a first time. Now he's been through that process. I think he's a lot more comfortable with the opportunities that we give him, whether it's rushing, coverage, disguising, whatever those things are. He's a lot more being able to communicate more with the guys around him rather than trying to figure it out as he goes through.
Does he excite you, just what he can do and what you guys can do with him? I mean, you've been around a lot of linebackers.
No question about it. He's a special athlete, a special young man, and anytime with that skill set that he brings to it, you can utilize it in a lot of different ways, a lot of different disguises, a lot of different ways to get him to pressure the quarterback.
Did you have to do some recruiting to get Leighton to re-sign here and stay?
Well, I mean, Leighton in himself, he's another guy that is really a true pro. And for me, with Leighton's going to do what's best for the team. He understands this situation, and having the capabilities of those three guys in your room, I mean, that's a blessing. And so with the different packages and stuff we use, we'll be able to utilize their skill sets as we progress through this journey.
And he seemed to, at the end of the year last year, ended up picking up his game.
Yeah, I'd have to say, I think he showed improvement as he went through. It was a new system last year, and I think the more familiar he became with that and his role, I think he really settled in and play. The one thing we talked about this year was starting off fast, and you can just tell when he's out here at practice how things are going a lot quicker for him between his decision-making, and now he can line up and he can play and use his athletic skill to go make plays.
Enough snaps for all three guys?
We'll have different packages that we can utilize the skill sets, I can promise you that. Okay. All right?
How unique is Anthony's skill set as far as being able to come off the edge and also play in spaces?
Right. Well, he's a guy that, number one, like you said, he can pressure the quarterback. He's going to affect protection on offense because there's certain blocking schemes you definitely don't want to use against him, getting him one-on-one with a back. All right, he's another guy that can run in the open space, so he can go run and cover. So between that, with his size and his physicality when he plays, that's a big plus, and I think that'll show as we keep going through this process.
Did he ever come off the field in Minnesota when you were there?
Not when I was there.
Make sure of that.
So he could play nickel and
he has played all three downs previously in his career. I know he's had a couple injuries the last couple of years. And I think, over playing 1,100 snaps a year, I think, as he's gotten a little bit older, he's had some injuries and that kind of thing. So, like I said, our biggest thing right now is just taking his skill set and plugging it in the different packages that we have. And I think just like you saw with Michael last year, utilizing him in the different packages, we're blessed to have another athlete that has a lot of those similar traits. And we're excited to go through the process with it.
Do you have a feel for how long his ramp-up period will take to get going?
We're just going to take it one day at a time. I mean, right now, just, terminology and stuff is a lot different. A lot of similar concepts, but like anywhere else in this league, when you go from one, you used to calling it a cat, and now it's a dog. So it's about going through that process, communicating with the guys around you, being familiar. And that way, when the ball turns over, you can go read and react and, play football.
Thanks, Jordan.
Good.